Welcome to my channel. In this video, we'll discuss binomial theorem. We'll see how to write the binomial coefficients in Pascal's triangle, and we'll solve some problems related to binomial theorem. Suppose A and B are real numbers. And I want to find A plus B power 0. So it is binomial, that means 0, so it is always 1. Now, if I write A plus B power 1, then it is just A plus B. Now, if A plus B power 2 I want to write, then you can very easily find A plus B whole square. That is by multiplying A plus B and A plus B, that results in A square plus 2AB plus B square. Similarly, if you want to find A plus B whole cube, then also it is very easy. We can calculate A plus B times A plus B whole square, that is given by A square plus 2AB plus B square. So if you multiply these two expressions, so you'll get A cube plus 3A square B plus 3AB square plus B cube. But if I want to find A plus B power 10 or A plus B power 50, then we are going to face really difficult situations, right? So for this, for higher powers, whenever I'm taking two elements A and B, A plus B power n, that means the higher powers are involved. So we require some general technique so that we can get the expansion quickly. Okay, so that is the requirement of binomial theorem. That means we generalize these kinds of statements. That means in binomial theorem we can find A plus B power n whenever n is any positive integer. So how to generalize it? So we can generalize it, or we can get the expansion of A plus B power n whenever n is a positive integer and A and B are real numbers. So we'll get the notion of its terms from the terms who are coming in these expressions, A plus B whole square, A plus B whole cube. Okay, so let us try to find how to construct the terms of A plus B power n. Now here, if you observe, there is a very particular pattern involved. So here if you can see, so it is A squared, so the coefficient is 1, it is starting with 1, and the power is 2. So first it is A squared, that means the highest possible power, that is 2. After that, the power of A, the exponent of A is decreasing. You see it is A squared. After that it is A power 1. Then it is B squared. That means I can write this as A power 0. That means the coefficient, the exponent of A is 0. Similarly, if you observe B, the powers of B, so we are starting with the power of B as 0, then it is 1, then it is 2. So the powers of A are decreasing, starting with the highest possible power, that is 2 to 0, and the power of B is increasing, starting with 0 to 2. Similarly, if you go to A plus B power 3, so here also you can see the power is 3, then it is 2, then 1 and 0. Similarly, the powers of B are 0, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so that is our first observation. Our next observation regarding the coefficient. So how do I write the coefficient? So here you can see I can write this as 2c0 a square plus 2c1 ab plus 2c2 b square. Now what is 2c0? 2c0 according to the definition of NCR. So NCR is equal to n factorial by r factorial to n minus of r factorial. So here we can calculate 2c0, that is 2 factorial by 0 factorial 2 minus 0 factorial, that is equal to 2 factorial by 0 factorial is defined as 1 into 2 factorial. So 2 factorial cancels out and we get 1. So here you can see it is 1. Similarly, 2c2 is also 1, 2c2. So it is 2 factorial 2 factorial, 2 minus 2 factorial, that is 0 factorial. So here also we are getting 1, and 2c1 is 2. So 2c1, that is equal to 2 factorial, 1 factorial, 2 minus 1 factorial, that is equal to 2 factorial, 1 factorial, 1 factorial. So it is also 2, right? So similarly, I can write this expansion as, so I'll start with 3, right? 3c0, 3c0 is 1, a cube plus 3c1 a square b plus 3c2 ab square plus 3c3 b cube. So similarly, if you maintain the same pattern, now you can write in your own. So what is going to be a plus b power 4? Just from mathematical induction, we can write this expansion. So a plus b power 4. So the n value is 4. So first power of a is 4. So I can write this as 4c0 a power 4. After that, it is 4c1. The power of a is decreased by 1, that is a power 3, and the power of b is increased by 1, that is b. Then 4c2, then it is a power 2, it is decreased by 1, it is increased by 1, that is b square, plus 4c3 a into b cube plus 4c4 b power 4. This is the expansion. Similarly, you can write any expansion. So that is how we generalize the statement. That means now we can write the binomial theorem as if a and b are real numbers and n is positive integer, then a plus b power n is r equal to 0 to n NCR a power n minus of r into b power of r. So if you take a plus b power n equal to this notation NCR a power n minus of r, b power r starting with 0 ending with n. So you can see if I want to write a plus b power 5, then what happens? So r varies from 0 to 5. Then it is 5 CR. What is the value of n here? It is 5. So it is 5 CR a power 5 minus of r to b power r. So if I write this explicitly, so this is the abbreviated form. So we can see, so the first value of r is 0. So for this we are getting 5c0, a power 5, b power 0 is 1. After that, the value of r is 1. So we are getting 5c1, a power 5 minus 1, that is 4 into b power 1 plus 5c2 a cube into b square plus 5c3 a square into b cube plus 5c4 a into b power 4, and the last one is 5c5 into b power 5. So using binomial expansion, you can get a plus b power n, where n is any positive integer. Now, if we replace b by minus of b, let us give it a name. Let it be a in equation a. Then what do you get? You get the expansion of a minus b power n. So what is it? So it is r equal to 0 to n NCR a power n minus r. Here what is our b? It is minus of b. So I can write this as minus of b power r. So that is equal to r equal to 0 to n NCR. So minus of b power r. So I can write this as minus of 1 power r into a power n minus of r into b power r. So here the expansion is, we are getting NC0 a power n minus of nc1 a power n minus 1 into b plus nc2 a power n minus 2 into b square and so on. And the last one is minus of 1 power n ncn b power n. So here we have a very good observation. If I want to write a plus b power 4, okay, without using the binomial theorem, then also we can write this. So there we have Pascal's triangle. So this is very interesting. The binomial coefficients follows a particular kind of pattern, which is very interesting, you see. So if I write the index over here and the coefficients, so if the index is 0, that means a plus b power 0. So it is 0. So what is it? It is 1. Now next coefficient, next index, that is 1, right? So a plus b power 1. So here you can see the coefficients are just 1 and 1. So I can write this as 1 and 1. After that, what about 2? So a plus b power 2. So here what are the coefficients? It is 1, 2 and 1. 1, 2 and 1. So here we can observe that I can get this 2 by adding just these two positions. That means the preceding row and the elements of the preceding row which forms a triangle with this position. Okay. Similarly, if I want to get the coefficients of a plus b power 3. So without using binomial theorem, we can write this, you see. And here every row is starting with 1 and ending with 1. Okay, so here also we'll start with 1. That means a cube, the coefficient is 1. So what is this position? So if I want to make a triangle over here, so here I can make a triangle. So to make a triangle, I require these 3 points. So you see what is 1 plus 2? It is 3. So what is the next coefficient? It is 3. Similarly, what is this position? To make a triangle with this position, I require 2 and 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3. Similarly, what is the last term? It is obviously 1. Okay. So this is called Pascal's triangle. So we can get the coefficients from the previous row. Okay. So similarly, if I want to write a plus b power 4, here also we can find this very easily. So we'll start with 1. Then it is 1 plus 3 is 4. Then it is 3 plus 3 is 6. Then it is 3 plus 1 is 4. And the last one is 1. Okay. So it is going to be a power 4 plus 4 a cube b plus 6 a square b square plus 4 ab cube plus b power 4. You can verify this from binomial theorem also. That means taking 4c1, 4c2, 4c3 and 4c4. Similarly, you can write a plus b power 5 very easily from this Pascal triangle. So here also we'll start with 1. Then 1 plus 4 is 5. So here we have the triangle. After that, next triangle is 4 plus 6 equal to 10. Here also 6 plus 4 is equal to 10. 4 plus 1 is 5 and the last one is 1. So here, what is our expansion? It is going to be a power 5 plus 5c1, that is 5. 5 a power 4 into b plus 5c2 is going to be 10. So it is 10 a cube b square plus 10 5c3 a square b cube plus 5 a b power 4 and the last one is b power 5. Okay, so this is how we write. Okay, similarly you can write 6, 7, etc. Next, let us go to the next observation. So whenever we have a plus b power n, the expansion contains, that is the first observation, the expansion contains n plus 1 number of terms. So this is the first observation. That's a second. What is the general term of this expansion? It is written as NCR a power n minus of r b power r. So r starting with 0 to n. So the first term is the 0th term, right? But we don't say it is a 0th term, we say this is the first term. So that is why we write the general term as r plus 1. R plus 1 is equal to NCR a power n minus of r b power r. R varies from 0 to n. So if you put 0, then you'll get the first term t1. For r equal to 1, you'll get t2, that is the second term. And if you put n, that is you are going to get the last term, that is tn plus 1, because this expansion contains n plus 1 number of terms. Next, suppose I put a is equal to 1 and b equal to 1 over here. Then what happens? So if I put a is equal to 1 and b equal to 1, what do you get here? So we are getting 2 power n. That is equal to r equal to 0 to n it is NCR 1 power n minus r b power r, so it is 1. So I can say it is NC0 plus NC1 plus NC2 plus NCR up to NCN. So what is the sum of all binomial coefficients equal to NC0, that is NC0 plus NC1 plus NC2 plus NCR plus NCN. What is the value? It is always 2 power of n. So this is the observation we are getting, which is very important. Next, if we put a is equal to 1 and b equal to minus 1 in a plus b power n, that is equal to r equal to 0 to n, NCR a power n minus r b power r, then what happens? So if 1 and b, a is equal to 1 and b equal to minus of 1, then what do you get? This becomes 0. So we are getting 0 equal to r equal to 0 to n. It is NCR a, that is 1 power n minus r, which is 1, and b power r, b is minus 1 power r. So it becomes alternatively positive and negative. So it is NC0 minus of NC1, because for r equal to 0, minus 1 power 0 is 1. Next, for r equal to 1, minus 1 power 1 is minus 1. So we are getting minus of NC1 plus NC2 minus of NC3 and so on. So here we can see this is equal to 0. So if I take these negative terms in the left hand side, we'll get NC1 plus NC3 plus NC5, etc. That is equal to NC0 plus NC2 plus NC4, etc. That means sum of all the even positioned coefficients is exactly same as sum of all odd positioned coefficients. Okay, and you have already seen the total sum is 2 power n. Okay, so the sum is going to be 2 power n divided by 2, that is equal to 2 power n minus 1. So this is also very important. Okay. The next possible question asked is about middle term. Okay. So what about the middle term? For example, suppose you have a plus b whole square. So here you are getting a square plus 2ab plus b square. So whenever we have a plus b power 2 that is even, so we have odd number of terms. So if you have odd number of terms, then how many middle term would be there? There is only one. See, so this is the middle term over here. But if I write a plus b power 3, so it is a cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube. So here you can see, so there are even number of terms present over here. So what are the middle terms? So here there is not a single middle term, but here we are going to get two middle terms present over here. So our conclusion is regarding middle term. So this depends on the value of n. So if n is even, the first point, if n is even. So if n is even, then what happens? The number of terms in the expansion of a plus b power n is n plus 1, that is odd. So if it is odd, then there is only one middle term. Which is given by n plus n by 2 plus 1th term. This is the middle term. I'll give you examples. Now what happens if n is odd? So if n is odd, we have seen the number of terms in a plus b power n is n plus 1, which is even. So if it is even, then there are two middle terms. Which are n plus 1 by 2th term and n plus 3 by 2th term these are the middle terms. For example, you see, so what are the middle terms here? So here n is equal to 3. That means n is odd, so the number of terms are even. So what are the middle terms? What are the formulas over here? It is n plus 1 by 2th term and n plus 3 by 2th term. So you say it is 3 plus 1 by 2, that is equal to 4 by 2. So the second term, and n plus 3 by 2, that is n is equal to 3. So 3 plus 3 by 2, that is 6 by 2, so that is the third term. So second and third term are the middle terms. So these are the middle term. Now if n is even, the number of terms is odd. So here what is the formula? Then n by 2 plus 1th term. That means n is 2 here. So 2 by 2 plus 1. That is 1 plus 1. So the second term is the middle term. So you see here, the second term is the middle term. So now we'll go into some of the examples we'll solve. Our first question is, find the term which is independent of x in the expansion of this. So let us first write the general term, which is given by tr plus 1, which is equal to ncr, that is 10cr, then e power n minus of r, which is root x by root 3 power 10 minus of r, b, that is root 3 power root 3 by 2x square power r, So if we simplify this, we'll get 10 CR, then root 3 power minus of 10 plus R. So 3 power minus of 5 plus R by 2. And from here we are getting plus R by 2. Regarding the powers of x, so x power 10 minus R by 2 minus of, from here we are getting minus of 2R. So it is 10 CR 3 power minus of 10 plus 2R by 2 into x power 10 minus of 5R by 2. So here we require the term which is independent of x. That means the power of x is 0. So if we equate the power of x to 0, we'll get 10 minus 5R by 2 equal to 0. That means 10 minus of 5 are equal to 0, which gives us R is equal to 10 by 5, that is equal to 2. So if we put R is equal to 2, that is the third term. So 2 plus 1, that is the third term, is independent of x, which is given by 10C2 into 3 power minus of 10 plus 2R, that is minus of 5 plus R. The value of R is 2, and x power 0. So it is 10C2 10 factorial by 2 factorial to 8 factorial, and this is given by, so here we have missed a 2, the power of 2. So it is 2 power divided by 2 power R. So here we have 1 by 2 power R. So here we are getting 1 by 2 square. So it is 1 by 3 power 3, that is 27, into 1 by 4. So if we simplify, we get 10 factorial into 9. 10 factorial can be written as 10 into 9 into 8 factorial. And it is 8 factorial, 8 factorial. Cancels out. We are getting 2, 27 into 4. So it is 5, 3. So we are getting 5 by 12. So this is the third term which is independent of x. Next, let us take this question. So here we have to determine whether any term in the expansion of this contains x power 10. So for this, first we need to write the general term, which is given by tr plus 1, that is equal to 18 cr x square power 18 minus of r and minus of 2 by x power r. So if we simplify it, we'll get minus 1 power r, then 2 power r, 18 cr, and from here the power of x is 36 minus of 2r, and from here we are getting minus of r. So it is minus 1 power r, 2 power r, 18 cr, and x power 36 minus of 3r. So we'll equate this to 0 because we want to check whether there is any term which contain x power 10. So let us equate this to 10. So this is equal to 10. So we have to find the corresponding value of r. So here we are getting 3r equal to 26. So r equal to 26 by 3, which is not an integer. But tr plus 1 represents the general term of this expansion, which is valid for r equal to 0, 1, 2 up to n, that is 18. So r may take only positive integral values. So here we are getting r as a fraction. So our conclusion is r cannot be a fraction. So there is no term the expansion of x square minus of 2 by x power 18 that contains x power 10. Let us try to find the middle terms of this expansion. Now we have already seen the number of middle terms of an expansion depends on the value of n. That means if n is even and if n is odd. So whenever n is odd, so here a plus b power n, our a is p by x, our b is x by p, and n equal to 9, which is odd. That implies the expansion contains n plus 1, that is equal to 10 terms, which is even. So we have even number of terms, and consequently we'll get two middle terms. One is n plus 1 by 2th term and n plus 3 by 2th term. So n plus 1 by 2th term means 9 plus 1 by 2, that is equal to 5th term, and here we are getting 9 plus 3 by 2th term, that is equal to 6th term. So here in the expansion we have 5th and 6th term as the middle terms. So here we have T5 and T6 as the middle terms. So let us try to determine those middle terms. So what is T5? We can write T5 as T4 plus 1. So what is T4 plus 1? It is NCR. So R is 4 and N is 9. So 9C4 A power, that is P by X power N minus of R, and B power, that is X by P power, which is equal to 9C4. If you simplify this, we'll get P power 5 by X power 5 into X power 4 by P power 4, which is equal to 9C4 into P by X. Similarly, if you write T6, which is equal to T5 plus 1, that is 9C5 P by X power 9 minus 5 and X by P power 5. So which is 9C5 P power 4 by X power 4 into X power 5 by P power 5, that is equal to 9C5 into X by 5. So these are the middle terms. We have two middle terms in the expansion of P by X plus X by P power 9. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then please like and subscribe my channel.